Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon, preseason Perna, and today I want to talk about the key things to watch during the Eagles and Steelers' first preseason game. As fans, we typically get excited for the third preseason game when the starters play the most, but we already know the Eagles and the Steelers have a ton of proven weapons who will be competitive in 2018. When teams are already good, getting to see rookies and position depth battles is more important than that third preseason game. So here's what you should be watching for in this matchup. That's Good Sports. Do take a second, one fucking second, and click that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed to this channel, thank you. Please also click the notification button so you know when I make videos. I do have big dick Patreon shoutouts for Jeff Klein, upping his monthly donation to $10, Josh Sierra, DJ Mean, Raymond Trujillo, and Peter Cantor upping his donation as well. Patreon is how this channel stays alive all year long. Your support means the world to me there. I do monthly giveaways, as well as we're posting some of our football articles, sports articles there. So check it out, patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. Transition. I do believe Mike Tomlin has to be extremely jealous of Doug Peterson's growing in popularity nickname Big Balls Doug, which is making headlines. Doug Peterson approves, and he has been South Park memed with the nickname. Between Big Dick Nick, Big Balls Doug, and my Big Dick Player Award, it makes sense why Eagles fans and I get along so well. For the Eagles, the first thing I'm watching for is how well Carson Wentz moves on the sideline. How hard does he plant that knee when reaching for Gatorade? How quickly does he turn his neck to check the scoreboard? How many butts does he slap on the sideline? All major tells of when he will be ready to return from his ACL injury, according to team doctors. At training camp, Wentz has been throwing the ball and playing well in 7-on-7 drills, firing laser-sharp, pinpoint, threading the needle, mosquito dick-hitting accurate passes all camp long. Now, it only took 15 seasons for Steelers' fat-ass quarterback Ben Roethlisberger to decide that eating healthy might help him play sports better. He entered training camp 15 to 20 pounds lighter, or about half of Darren Sproles' total mass. Medium-sized Ben may be feeling the pressure that the equally as tall Mason Rudolph put on him after the Steelers drafted the Oklahoma State quarterback in the third round. Rudolph was terrible at the start of camp, but then suddenly became as accurate as Carson Wentz, throwing balls through holes smaller than the amount of common sense rattling around in Roger Goodell's brain. The Eagles don't really have to worry about evaluating their backup quarterbacks, a rare luxury when your first backup is a fucking Super Bowl MVP. The only thing Nate Sudfeld and Joe Callahan need to do in preseason is throw the ball to tight end Dallas Goedert. He's had a great camp so far, and with the loss of Trey Burton, Goedert could have a key role in 2018 for this team. If he looks good catching passes from Sudfeld and or Callahan, he'll probably win Rookie of the Year. Now, appropriately so, Eagles fans have changed his name from Dallas to Philly Goedert. Because, fuck the Cowboys. And fuck Mr. and Mrs. Goedert for giving their talented son a stupid first name. What would be actually the worst name of a city you could give a kid? If I'm being honest, Dallas actually isn't that bad of a first name. They could have named him El Paso Goedert. Philadelphia is worse for a first name. Makes me think of Tom Hanks, who was famously named Philadelphia and then got AIDS in that movie. Bad city names. Here's my son, Sacramento, and my daughter, Cincinnati, and our adopted foreign son, Lake Titicaca. As an American, I think it's important we name our kids after American lakes, like Lake Superior, the perfect American lake name for how we see ourselves compared to the rest of the world. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Because of his new ability to teleport on the field, which he learned by not showing up to training camp, by the way, I hope Le'Veon Bell can put his money where his mouth is and show up at halftime and put on a better musical performance than the Eagles' Jordan Mailata.
She's got class, she's got style, yeah.
I done heard about them. Man, they want me to fail, but I ain't worried about them.
She can make a man fall in now. There's nothing to see, nowhere to go.
But now I understand, I just had to learn. All these things that start to turn when I hit the bug.
Is it just me, or is Le'Veon Bell actually the least talented musician in the NFL? He's not even a musician, he just raps. And he doesn't even do that well. I'm pretty sure I'm better at rapping than him. Yo, Le'Veon Bell, you give defenses hell. Do you like the Ninja Turtles because they live in shells? You better take a shower after the game so you don't smells. Remember that tight end, Daniel Fells? If you're gonna go to a bank, it better be Fargo Wells. If you make a mistake, you better not dwell on it. Remember when you and LeGarrette Blount loved the Chronic? If I had a drink of choice, it would be a gin and tonic. Not really, I like whiskey. So if you don't think this rap is good, you can motherfucking kiss me. Challenge in your face, Bell. Accept it or don't. Now for the Steelers on defense, they need to find a viable replacement for Ryan Shazier at inside linebacker. Many believe Vince Williams is poised to become a standout there. Tyler Matakevich is the presumed other starter, but LJ Fort could jump him with a great preseason. He's the kind of guy you want on the field as a linebacker because he does everything well, especially in coverage, and his preseason reps will be extremely important. Darren Sproles apparently has looked spry in camp. Sproles has been one of my favorite players in the NFL since he entered the league, and I hope he's as healthy as he looked in the showers. Eagles fans are already making a case for him to be in the Hall of Fame. 91% on this poll believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure how much he'll play in this first preseason game, but with the loss of LeGarrette Blount, there is a battle for that fourth running back position behind Ajayi, Clement, and Sproles. The guys to watch here are Donnel Pumphrey, Wendell Smallwood, who's actually very well hung, Matt Jones, my name is too ordinary to be any good, and Josh put me in the same club with Matt Jones Adams. Nobody will remember guys named Matt Jones and Josh Adams after playing behind LeGarrette Blount. So I bet we see last year's fourth round pick Donnel Pumphrey get a lot of carries this preseason. I think Philly used more backs than anyone else in the world last year, so this fourth spot is actually important. The most crucial position the Eagles will be evaluating is their starting nickelback. Look at this photograph. I used to be a pretty good cornerback for the Eagles. Patrick Robinson was a key part of that defense last year. He played 68.9% of the time. That's just enough time for Rob Gronkowski to not laugh. Sidney Jones has seen the most reps in training camp so far, and he will get plenty of playing time this preseason. Expect to see him in the nickel with the starters, but then maybe move outside when the reserves come in, so guys like Devontae Bosby can get a look in the nickel. Personally, I'd give the job to DJ Killings. His name alone sounds perfect for a hard-hitting defender and qualifies him to be better at doing music than Le'Veon Bell. Yo, DJ Killings, can you play Nickelback? This is how you remind me how we beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 52. Keeping in the nickel theme, the Eagles will be watching that third linebacker as well. That will linebacker spot. Will linebacker, of course, stands for wishing I lubricated logs. NFL defenses and their terminology is very complicated. Michael Kendricks is gone, and right now former safety Nate Jerry has seen the most reps in camp, with Camus Grugier-Hill, kicker/linebacker, turning heads with his athletic ability. Figuring out the right balance at this position with the rotation of the third linebacker and third corner will be critical for the Eagles' defense in 2018. Both the Eagles and the Steelers are in similar positions in terms of evaluating their wide receiver depth. Pittsburgh will be taking a long look at rookie wide receiver James Washington, who the team is calling the Energizer Bunny, because he eats batteries and fucks like a rabbit. He's also showing that he can come in and make an impact on that offense week one for this team. He's probably the Steeler I'm most excited to watch this preseason. There's no arguing that Pittsburgh has better depth at the wide receiver position, but the Eagles have the most former Steelers at their wide receiver positions in Mike Wallace and Marcus Wheaton. Philly needs one of their second-year receivers to step up this preseason so they can send Marcus Wheaton back to Pittsburgh. They've got Mack Hollins, converted quarterback, Greg Ward, or Shelton Gibson. Impressive play from one or two of those guys should give Foles/Wentz plenty of confidence with the depth at the ball-catching position. Ward and Gibson are both built like slot guys, which may give Hollins the best advantage to stand out in the preseason. So what did we learn today? Cool nicknames like Big Balls Doug are important to a team's success. The score doesn't matter in this game, just player health and positional evaluations. Both of these teams should be in the playoffs, and even though it's preseason, this is a game I'm excited to take a look at so we learn a little bit more about the unknown on these rosters, which is just a couple positions. Pittsburgh needs to find a replacement for linebacker Ryan Jazier. Jazier, what the fuck? Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Subscribe here on YouTube. I have a podcast. It's the That's Good Sports podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Podbean. There's a link in the description. And it's on my second YouTube channel every week, That's Good Broncos. We do the podcast on Thursdays, so like it on iTunes, all that shit you're supposed to do.